Hi everyone, this is Victoria Burrows, Director of Advancing Net Zero at the World Green Building Council. Over the past 20 years, the WorldGBC global network has been catalyzing the uptake of sustainable built environments to accelerate economic, climate, and social resilience. This action is spearheaded by the efforts of over 70 green building councils globally and their 36,000 members. Our network's collaboration is critical as we navigate the challenges of a climate double jeopardy, the dual challenge of keeping a 1.5 degree future within reach and protecting our society's 4 billion most climate vulnerable citizens. The built environment is responsible for almost 40% of energy-related carbon emissions. And currently, of the 192 nationally determined contributions, only 80 countries have adopted energy codes, and most of those lack the level of ambition needed to mitigate climate breakdown. The time for action is now. To respond to the impacts of these challenges, WorldGBC's Global Climate Action Programme Advancing Net Zero was launched in 2016. Working with green building councils across the network to develop tools, programs, resources to promote the urgency and achievability of net zero carbon buildings and build industry capacity to deliver them. The Central and South American region is one of the most urbanized parts of the world, with 80% of people living in urban areas. In the next 3 years, these cities will experience a population growth of over 20% since 2014. So implementing green building practices will be crucial to ensuring a high quality of life for those who live, work, and play in these cities. Since 2019, the zero carbon transition in Latin America has advanced through the Accelerating Net Zero Cities project. The project extends the proven framework of the Building Efficiency Accelerator, the BEA, to help city governments, private companies, and NGOs work together to deliver resource and energy efficiency in buildings at scale. This progress includes 4 policies for increased building efficiency in the cities of Bogota and Monteria in Colombia, and at the state level in Campeche and Yucatan in Mexico. And another 10 policies are currently in development across Latin America in countries like Chile, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Together, we are advancing local and regional awareness, knowledge, and capacity for net zero carbon buildings, whilst aligning with WorldGBC's whole life carbon vision for total sector decarbonisation. So far, GBCs in 6 markets across the region have developed net zero standards and frameworks, including Chile's Certificación del Edificio Sostenible. WorldGBC's Americas Regional Network is also working to lead and adapt the Asia-Pacific Net Zero Readiness Framework for the Latin American market, so that GBCs can then use that framework to create their own national decarbonisation roadmaps. Chile has always been characterised by its leadership in the Americas region, as evidenced by the actions taken in recent years around decarbonisation of the built environment. Its nationally determined contribution was updated in April 2020. And with the Climate Change Framework Law published in June this year, Chile is the first country in Latin America that establishes by law a goal of carbon neutrality by 2050. We look forward to Chile GBC's National Carbon Footprint Strategy in the construction sector for 2050, and its objectives, which will shape the roadmap based on 3 fundamental axes: monitoring, reporting, and verification; secondly, construction of databases; and thirdly, carbon footprint calculators. WorldGBC champions this international summit that aims to tackle current climate, economic, and energy crises through net zero carbon, healthy, equitable, and resilient built environments. As part of the Building to COP27 coalition and in collaboration with the UN High-Level Climate Champions, WorldGBC will be on the ground at COP27 to accentuate this message and represent our network and the building and construction sector as a solutions provider to these challenges. At the very heart of all our efforts is collaboration. We know that this sector is in a unique position to improve our world and our communities. From whatever part of the value chain you represent, I thank you for your leadership and ask that you keep fighting the fight to put people back at the heart of sustainable built environments for everyone, everywhere. Thank you. Y gracias.